of the Targeted Individual Program, Targeted Individual Experience. So one of the things that I want to do here is expose what it is that they do and how they use silent sound spectrum to manipulate people's mind. So tonight I was installing the memory that I got to replace my son memory that I took out of his computer. All right, to put in the PC build that I did. And as I'm doing that, he's right before I was to do it, he walks over to his computer, he turns on his flashlight on his phone. So I said, "Why you have your flashlight on?" And he goes, actually he turned himself on. I'm like, okay, whatever. Anyway, because today, what they do, because I have a PC for sale on Facebook Marketplace, it basically tried to threaten me. When I talk about business, when I was younger, my brother and I tried to venture into different businesses. It was always being sabotaged and never really understood what was going on. But as TIs, we understand now, right? So I've been getting these, trade offers from people on Facebook. They always send them, I'll trade you a PS5. I'm like, come on, man. Like, seriously? I'll trade you this, I'll trade you that. I'm like, no, no. Cash only, okay? So today, this person was interested. They're like, okay, I'm interested in, is it available? So I said, yeah. I said, pick a time and date, and, but of course I know that they were just trying to test me out, right? Because what they'll do is to try to gauge to see if my confidence, if my assertiveness, if my my drive, right, to do things like that is still there, right? Because they try to take these things away from you, and because it's still there, they're engaging, the threats and stuff like that, right? To try to, because they want you to make that decision yourself, right? In terms of cognitive warfare, when they defeat your mind, you've accepted the defeat in your mind of what it is that they've done to you and that you can do. So regardless of me knowing and understanding what's going on, I'm gonna still have that drive. Okay, they may do things to try to prevent it, poisoning me, all this stuff to try to traumatize me into not doing those things, but it'll never happen. Okay. So anyway, earlier today, Pam sent me a text, and like I said, she don't really send me any text. So I don't know why she's sending me text now, particularly not text like this. Okay, and you'll see, let me just scroll here, I'll go through this whole thing. So she sends me this today at 3:29. See number 32? Alright, now she can send at 3:32, but it doesn't matter, right? It's 3:29. Alright? And it says key aspect of CoQ10. Now I talked about yesterday in the pharmacy how they try to, not have me pick up my prescription, because again, I've been getting my prescriptions for well over almost 2 decades, and it shows the medical in terms of what it is that they've done to me. And when you look at how being hit with microwave and radio frequency, what it does to the human body, the human mind, right? There is that correlation, and they don't want to be able to show that. Remember, they're about lying and deceiving people, right? So whenever time I go to get particularly my headache medicine, they'll always try to, prevent me from getting those things. My headache medicine, like I was talking about, I was taking a medicine. It was like a shot in the back of the head, right? Which is it's an injection, right? And it was once a month, okay? And I used to get it for free. Then they wanted $1,000 for it. Then they wanted $500 for it. So it's to constantly do stuff like that. Just like how with the cream that the doctor had given me a prescription for. Oh, well, it's $30-something. Now it's $50-something, right? Constant changing in price to prevent you from getting those type of medication, right? And so I have to call my insurance company and see and I said I have to call my insurance company. They use the sirens outside. See what I'm talking about? This is what they do, right? Because of what it is that the poison, and now I have this thing on my thigh, but anyway, so it's to constantly do this sort of barrage. That's why they always have the cops there, you know, to try to intimidate you or have you. And I'm not intimidated. I've never been intimidated. Okay. And again, because I'm being hit with direct energy weapons, because I've been microchipped, you know, it affects your central nervous system, so you become nervous, and then they can say, "Oh, well, he's acting very suspicious." They're very slick in terms of what they do, the deception and the lies. Okay, this you gotta understand. This is like I said. That's why I made it. You know, a decade and a half ago, I said the decision to study what it is that they do and to expose it. Right. So anyhow, so Pam sent me this about CoQ10. So she was like talking to a patient. Maybe you should try this. Now again, I can go through. I can show you guys tons of text between me and her. She has never ever sent me anything like this because she's talking to some patient. You know, she have CoQ10. She used to take CoQ10, but again, they might be doing this to test my memory, right? But because I've known her for so long, I know that she's because I've at one point I think I may have even bought her CoQ10 before, and I got to go through my orders and see, right? But it's to constantly do this, right? And then when she called me, I get a text from Alva, right? And I talk about, you know, the synchronization, the co-opting conscious mind, right? So she goes, I said, why? So she goes, migraine on my chest. I said, okay. And then something about a package, what have you. And then she goes, on my way, bringing in food. And then she goes, I think you sent this to the wrong person. And I said, send what? Because I didn't send her anything. And she does a screenshot, right? This is what this is. And then you see that emoji right between hi, on my way, bringing in food. Think you sent this to me. But if I go here, why isn't that there? Why isn't that there? Okay, so they're intercepting our text and they're changing the text. Okay, you see, these are things that they do, and this is why I keep exposing it. Right now, when I got to the apartment building, I was outside speaking, and then they had this guy came, you know, like standing there, you know, listening to me, what have you. It was because they're engaged in this sort of cursive threats. We're going to use this person. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. Go ahead, use them. I mean, like I said, they have not learned, have they? My purpose is greater than theirs. I'm about speaking the truth. They're about lying, deceiving, and manipulating. And this is what I'm showing you right now. They're deceiving, they're lies, and they're manipulators. And they can manipulate us in ways that we don't quite understand. Okay? So she goes, that where did you heart a photo? I said, it might have said it came from me, but I did not send it. Do you see a heart emoji? This is a screenshot that I just made. Right? And this is the screenshot that I had sent her. Okay, this is the screenshot right here. So you see there is no heart emoji there, and then she goes, so strange, right? This is what I talk about. But you know, nigger parents, the dumbass nigger parents don't want to listen because they want to believe people who are the true liars, the true manipulators, the true deceivers, and they fall for it every time. And that's why we as a people is going to always be manipulated because we have that believer's mindset. And I keep saying, if you want to see, go and look at the movie called The Wizard of Oz, and you will see how a man went to the land of Oz with people who just want to believe, and he created technology to manipulate their mind. Okay, and in the end of that movie, it shows you when the dog Toto pulled back that curtain to show you that this man who think of himself as all powerful because he's a narcissistic psychopath, right? Manipulating these people. Okay? So, talk to you guys in the next video.